Hello, NuORDER friend, and welcome to today's webinar. We all hope you had a very lovely Easter, and if you've not yet used NuORDER 4.0, or if you have recently migrated, this webinar is for you. You can contact your account manager at NuORDER to review your migration schedule and organize your rollout. Today, we're going to go through the updates that you will need to make in order to make sure you make the most out of 4.0. As you've learned in our previous webinar, which are now available in our Help Center, 4.2 includes some new features such as the campaign tool, contact groups, and new line sheet builder. So how can I make sure I'm all set up to utilize this feature for proactive selling? Well, first, let's discuss the display of your products. 4.0 looks a bit different from the previous version, and it actually allows you to customize your product thumbnail display by switching between three different options that you can find here on the product gallery on the right-hand side. I'm currently viewing the large display. However, I can now change to the small product thumbnails view or to the vertical information thumbnail view. The great thing about this is that if you find an option that works for you, the setting will stay active throughout all the other tabs, such as the line sheet tab here, for example. As you can see, I have the same preferred view that I've picked earlier. Another important thing for you to know is that you can pick which fields are actually displayed on your product thumbnail. You have now 3 spaces which can be used to put any fields from your product data. You can contact your account manager to change the fields that are currently displayed. Second, you can now change the filter display in order to have more products on the page. To remove or add the filter display, it is very simple. You can click on the filter icon on the left-hand side. In addition, you have the ability to pin the menu on the left-hand side to have it permanently displayed, or you could also choose to have it appear only when your mouse goes over it. So now, let's discuss the proactive selling I mentioned. The core feature of any outreach is the line sheet tab. In order for your portal to be appealing, there needs to be line sheets available to be browsed by your buyers, as well as to be sent by your reps. In terms of display and structure of your portal, your account manager can actually make this page the first page upon login. This creates a very strong e-commerce experience that we do recommend, focusing on assortments. And what can you do on your end? You can add a banner at the very top of this page to make it even more appealing, and we do recommend that you focus on general e-commerce best practices with call to actions on the banner. To add this banner, simply go to the admin in settings, and then in customize your portal in your last section of the admin. You will find here all the requirements for this image, and you will be able to drag and drop it before making it active. Looking at the line sheets themselves, you really would want to focus on the topic-driven assortments, as we can see on well-known websites on your own B2C, I'm sure. This can be achieved by using cover images with call to actions or with titles included in the image. This really is important because when you will be sending out the line sheets, those images will now, in the 4.0 version, be used as banners in the emails. Therefore, if I have a cover image that says reordered in the image itself, then in the email that we will send to the buyer, the banner will say reorder, and that will make a lot of sense for the buyer when he receives the email. So this is definitely something to keep in mind, that this is not only an image used for display. You will find in the line sheet builder all the requirements. If I go now on create new, I can see the specifications, okay? If you have not yet migrated to 4.0, do not worry. All the work you do on the line sheets will actually be worthwhile because all the line sheets you create will stay available in the new version. Now, when you create a line sheet, what is very new is that you can actually add products directly from the product gallery. You could start by selecting the products one by one, and then in the top right corner, in the action section, click on Add to Line Sheet. Another option would be to use the filters of the left-hand side to do a selection of products that you wish to add to a line sheet. You simply need to click on the first product, and then you can click on Select All that meets search and filter criteria at the very top. Then make sure to click on the Action button and Add to Line Sheet, and pick the line sheet you want to add those products to. When you are done, you can go directly to the line sheet. But there is another way to add products to a line sheet, which is quite compelling. You have the option to add products directly from the line sheet by using the split panel at the bottom. Within the split panel, you can search for a product by using the search box. And you can also use the filters, which are the same as in the product gallery. Lastly, you have the options to add separators by drag and dropping separators within the line sheet. When you have strong line sheets, you are then all set to blast them to your customers via the Send button on the top right corner. The Send button will automatically create those campaigns we have been telling you a lot about. Those campaigns are generated once a line sheet or custom is sent. And this leads me to the last part of this webinar, the smart groups. When sending line sheets or custom lists, you have the ability to send to individuals by starting to type the name of the individual within the NuORDER contacts box. However, you could also start typing the name of group if you have groups that you've created on NuORDER. Now, how do you create those groups? Well, those groups are actually created in the campaign section in either create a smart group or create a fixed group. First, let's go and create a fixed group. Fixed groups are simply a list of users that you manually add to the group. For example, here I can start searching for a customer, clicking on the customer, and you can now see that customer in the group recipients. This will be a group that you can maintain moving forward manually. And you can decide to make it private, so you are the only one to see it, or you can share it with your colleagues. In order for them to understand what the group is about, you can use the description field. Now that I've created this group, if I go to my line sheet and I start sending, I can now search for any groups that I have here, such as the group one that I've created earlier. All the recipients will then automatically be added to my recipient list when I send this line sheet. What about the smart groups? The smart groups are based on criteria and they are automatically updated. What do I mean by that? Well, I mean that if you add a new company on the portal that meets the criteria that you picked for that group, it will be added to the group automatically, whatever time or day this is. Well, which criteria could you use? This actually completely depends on your company data, and this is something that you can start working on before being migrated to 4.0. We highly recommend that you set up your company data in a way that will be useful for your segmentation. By default, you could use the addresses field to have your location-based roles. This assumes that you filled in the addresses in the company data, and you can do this now in the admin section. Then you could search by the searchable fields here. And this would pick up all the searchable fields on your company data. So are there fields in your company data that are not searchable? Well, you can ask your account manager to assist with this and making those fields searchable. And if you want to have more fields in your company data, such as a customer type field, a relationship rating field, order entry type field, then you are more than welcome to ask your account manager or the heroes to create these fields in your company data. Thinking ahead like this is really the key to a good segmentation and a scalable wholesale business. The smart groups are demanding in terms of time, of investment of time. However, then they are really easy to maintain and they're really useful in order to make sure you make the most of the campaign, line sheet, and custom list feature. If you have any questions, please do email at heroes@nuorder.com. We are always available for any questions or inquiry you might have. Have a very good day. Bye.